Hi, my name is Jeff Azano-Brown. I'm Superintendent of the Wellesley Recycling and Disposal Facility, and we're here to talk about food waste. Food waste is any food that you're throwing away in the garbage. Could be your vegetable scraps, your meat scraps, anything that you came off of your dinner plate or in your food preparation that you're putting in the garbage. Wellesley residents can participate in the program right now. Any type of food waste just needs to be brought into the facility in compostable bags. You can find compostable bags online in local stores such as Whole Foods, Roach Brothers, Green's Hardware, and Harvey's Hardware, and just basically pack up your food waste and bring it to the facility and drop it off in our bins. The program doesn't cost a thing to participate, only the cost of the bags themselves. Acceptable items for the bags are literally any type of food product. It could be shells, it could be bones, meats, vegetable scraps, fruit scraps. If it was ever alive, you can use it in the program. Unacceptable items would be yard waste, excessive amounts of oils, excessive amounts of paper. A little bit of a paper towel is not going to do the program any harm, and if that's what gets you to actually participate in the program, we want it. Tips to get started in the program: find a small bin and just start with the most simple items like vegetable scraps and fruit scraps. Those will be the cleanest way of starting. Put a paper towel at the bottom of that bin, line it with some compostable bags. Don't wait for the bag to get full. You want to tie it off before then. Bring it to the facility and dispose of it there. During the year of the pilot program, we diverted 62 tons worth of food waste from the landfill. Each house in Wellesley generates approximately 3/4 of a ton of trash per year. So that's the equivalent of approximately 90 households worth of garbage. If the entire town were to contribute and participate, we would see the equivalent of 1,000 households worth of garbage. That would have a major impact on the amount of trash that we were removing from the landfill, the amount of food waste that was being recycled and converted to renewable energy, on our landfill costs, as well as on our recycling rates. So one thing I want to make clear is that our program is a food recycling program. It's not composting. Composting is fantastic. You can do it in your backyard with food scraps and vegetable scraps, but the anaerobic digester model is able to take additional materials like meats, bones, and shells. You can bring all those materials as part of the program. After your food waste is dropped off at the facility, we take it to a location where it actually gets made into what's called a slurry. That slurry is just a homogenized mixture of food waste. From there, it gets taken to what's called an anaerobic digester. It's basically how your stomach works, where it's breaking down the food without any oxygen. As that food is broken down, methane is released, captured, and then burned into electricity. Now, that electricity is used on site at that same facility to dry out the food waste and also the sewage sludge to be dried out completely and used as a low-level fertilizer. Massachusetts generates over 5.5 million tons of trash each year. And by 2025, we're scheduled to be exporting over 2 million tons of that trash. So what you're looking at now is a projection of landfill costs and the rate at which they have been rising. We start off in 1992 with Northeast landfill costs around $65 a ton, and we are currently around $80 a ton in 2016 when this graph was created. And what you're looking at here are disposal projections for Massachusetts. I mentioned that Massachusetts is a net exporter of waste, and what this graph shows is by 2025, we'll still be generating about 5.5 million tons of trash, and we'll be exporting over 2.1 million tons of trash. As a byproduct of landfill closures, how it's going to affect Wellesley and the rest of Massachusetts is that landfill costs are going to rise. And so I'd like to thank the 600 households for participating in the pilot program. You enabled us to understand who would actually bring their food waste to the RDF, what problems were associated with that, how we could address those problems, and to understand the volume that we would actually see. And so thank you very much for your efforts over this last year. And I encourage everyone to come and participate in the food waste program. Thank you.